We're back today with another generic Android TV box review, testing these out and letting you know if they're worth it before you add them to your cart. Today we have the Kinhank G1. Now this was actually suggested by multiple different commenters, so if you want input on which Android TV box I review next, let me know down below in the comments. It's how I'm going to continue this series. And if you're new to the channel, I go by UG Tech and I try to help people like you save money on streaming services and of course, learn about the newest devices. So hit that subscribe button. It's literally the best way to support me, or go follow me at Upgrade Guy Tech. Let's start by unboxing this. I got my big blade here. So it is 4K Ultra HD. We're gonna go over all the specs in a little bit. We have a few different things that come with it. First of all, they do include an Ethernet cable. It's a decent length as well, so extra added little bonus. These are rarely ever included with any system. You also have a long HDMI cord. This looks like it's at least 4 to 5 feet. Again, typically these are super micro, so added bonus. This is your standard Android TV box remote. It's essentially the same one you get with ONN devices. You have your voice assistant, which they did say it's certified with and it works with. We'll test that later. And then your 4 shortcut buttons, which are YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, and Disney+. Little weird that they included an Ethernet cable, but not batteries. That's kind of odd. You have a nice long power cable here, just your standard plug-in. A user manual, which we are definitely not going to read. And lastly, here is the G1 box. And this is actually a pretty big Android box. It comes with dual USB ports, which is a nice touch, with a reset button right here. You have a micro SD slot, so we're going to see later if we can actually expand the storage as well with this. You have your Ethernet port, your HDMI, optical, your power plug-in, and an AV port. And then they didn't include anything on the side here. And instead of having a screen here, they just have a physical power button, which I do like. They have a little LED for power, RCU, and net. Overall, it feels like a pretty solid build. It has these little rubber feet, so it doesn't move too much, although it still does. Those actually don't work very well. But it doesn't feel too cheap, which I always appreciate that. At least it's like a solid built Android box. Let's talk about the specs. Although this is a generic Android TV box, I do appreciate that this is Netflix certified, which means you can use the actual Netflix app, and it also has Google certification as well. If you don't know, a lot of these generic boxes can't actually use the official version of streaming apps, and instead you have to use the mobile version. Doesn't work great. So most of the official ones should work on this. We're gonna test that later. It's running Android 11, which is an older version, but shouldn't make too big of a difference. This is a full HD 4K box, 60 FPS, and it has Dolby Vision and Atmos, which is also pretty unique for these devices. Typically, that's something that is reserved for official streaming boxes. Compatible with Wi-Fi 6, and you're getting 4 GB of RAM and 32 of storage, which is a decent amount. As for the CPU, this has the S905X4J, which I did look up. There's a bunch of other more expensive Android boxes that still run this CPU. And from what I remember, it is pretty powerful. And I do want to mention this also has a built-in Chromecast, so we're going to test that out as well. Let's get into the initial setup and testing of the operating system. So the setup process is pretty similar to every other Android TV style box. Just follow the on-screen prompts and log into your account. The longest part of the setup is just going through a generic update process. This is probably going to take 10 to 15 minutes. So now we just have to go through the quick sign-in process, which is just your Google account. So we're going to start by just taking a quick walk around through the operating system and showing you the Android TV version that it has on it. Now this is a pretty classic Android TV 11, very simplified, where you have your favorite apps up top and you can easily add new ones as you install and download them on your device. You have all your recommendations from different apps, as well as the ability to customize your home screen. This is just creating more of these rows. A search section, and then of course your apps right here, where we can go into the Google Play Store, which we're gonna do in a little bit, and make sure this has official versions of apps like Netflix, Disney+, or Prime Video. Now, just to verify the device, we're gonna go to the About section right here, and you can see this is the G1, and if we scroll down, it has the Netflix certification right here, Hailstorm version, which I'm actually not sure what that is, and whoa, a bit of a surprise right here. It looks like it actually got updated to Android TV 14. So I'm going to put up an article right here to confirm that Kinhank did push the Android TV 14 update, but it looks like extra bonus here. They need to update their ad because you're getting 14 on this device instead of 11, which I said initially in the video. So that is a major bonus. And you can see we have that official Android TV OS certification at the bottom. And that just means this is official Android TV. Now, one point I did want to mention is if you watched my video earlier in the week where I talked about how Google is going to be blocking third-party apps for Android certified devices. And that would include something like the Kinhank. Although this hasn't happened yet, this is something that could come to fruition in 2016, 2017. So if you want to check out that video, click here. Maybe wait till the end of this one because we got a lot to show on this still. Otherwise, settings are very straightforward, easy to access. I'm not going to go over them because they're all the same for every Android box. I've done a video on that before. Let's test some official apps. Now, from first glance, this is definitely an official version of Netflix, which is great news. So you don't have to worry about those mobile versions where you're not getting the best resolution possible. So this is a major plus that we have this directly on the Kinhank. So we've confirmed Netflix. Let's check a few other ones out. Next up is Crave. Now, if you're American, this is essentially the Canadian version of HBO Max, because for whatever reason, we just can't get it here. Now, just like Netflix, this is also the official version. And the way you can tell, I'm going to put some screenshots up here. When it's the mobile version, it just looks funky. And it's also weird to move around inside the service. So these official versions will look just how it is on a browser or through your TV or Firestick or NVIDIA Shield. And yeah, this is definitely the official version of Crave as well. Now, this is supposed to be a 4K device. So I want to go into YouTube and make sure we can play some 4K content and see how it looks, because it also should be equipped with HDR. Okay, so we got a 4K video here, and we're going to go into resolution and make sure that we can change it. And you can see right here, we can go all the way up to 2160 by 60 FPS and go back into it. And now you're going to get that beautiful 4K quality. So yes, this box is compatible with it. We're having a little bit of buffering issues, although I think that's because I'm on my guest network. It looks great. It's going to do the job just as well as a Firestick 4K Max or an NVIDIA Shield in most cases, unless you account for the AI upscaling, which can make things look a little bit clearer. So now that we have official apps out of the way, let's do a little speed testing, starting with a reboot test. So this is really simple. We're going to unplug the device, plug it back in, and see how long it takes. We'll put a little stopwatch on the screen, see how long it takes to get right back to that home screen. Let's check it out. We'll leave it unplugged for exactly 20 seconds. And we're going to plug it back in. Okay, definitely not the quickest boot up time I've ever seen, but and you can see this usually happens with Android TV box. As soon as you boot up, sometimes you get a little bit of weird lag, but it's working pretty well for the most part. A little slow, especially if you compare that to the Roku device I reviewed earlier, but it's an Android TV device, so it's a little bit different anyways. Now let's check app boot up speeds. Now I have force stopped the app, which means it's like it hasn't been opened yet. We're going to open it up and put a timer on, see how long it takes. Let's check it out. Okay, not bad. Let's check Crave. Again, we force stop the app. Let's open it up. That was pretty fast. Now, it will depend on the app itself, but yeah, pretty quick speeds overall. Now, one thing I did tell you guys I would test out is make sure the voice assistant does work correctly on this. So we'll try it out. Open Netflix. Okay, that was pretty fast as well. Play Love is Blind Season 2. Okay. I'm not going to actually play it for copyright reasons, but pretty good. Now, a lot of you buy Android TV boxes because you also want to be able to sideload them very easy. So I don't want to scare you with what I said earlier in the video with Google potentially blocking sideloading, because it's not an issue right now. And yes, you can install Downloader and easily sideload this device. It's very simplified, like all Android TVs. Of course, with Firestick, there's a little bit more worry. So I just wanted to make sure you know that, yes, this can be completely sideloaded, so don't worry, you won't have any issues with this whatsoever. And they even installed the official version of Kodi when the device first got set up, so huge extra bonus there. Now, last thing I did want to check is the actual storage of the device, because this should have 32 gigabytes. And I just want to clarify, so it has 27. That space that's being taken up is the operating system and any apps it downloaded on boot up. So yeah, you do get a ton of storage with this as well. So what do I think of the Kinhank? Final thoughts. Should you buy it? It's a very solid Android TV box, official, that goes for $90, which in terms of more powerful Android TV boxes with official certification is actually a pretty solid price. Would I get this over an ONN Pro or a Fire TV Stick Max or an NVIDIA Shield, although the price difference? No, I wouldn't. I just think generic Android boxes, as good as they try to make them, these name brands just do it a little bit better at a little cheaper of a price more often. Does it work? Is it solid? Is it a scam? It is absolutely not a scam. This is a good Android box, which we can't always say is true. So overall, the Kinhank gets approval. I have the link down below if you want one of the better generic Android TV boxes, although name brand. This is a great one to check it out. So link down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.